Okay, let's unpack this. Today we're diving into something truly unique, a fascinating document that proposes, well, an entirely new paradigm for societal well-being, rooted in an ancient philosophy. We're looking at a deeply insightful document outlining a movement for Nandi-based farmer politics, for the revival of Basava Tattva and Kayaka Tattva.
Right.
Our mission today is to really explore its core arguments, the significant challenges it identifies, the innovative solutions it proposes, and its, frankly, ambitious vision for the future.
Yeah.
We want to help you, the listener, understand this deep interconnectedness of ancient philosophy, modern politics, and crucially, environmental sustainability.
What's truly fascinating here, and I think you'll agree, is how this document doesn't just offer, an agricultural plan. It frames a comprehensive vision.
Right.
For society, economy, and even spirituality, all viewed through this lens of Nandi. It's a fundamental reimagining, almost an inversion, you could say, of our current priorities.
That holistic vision is certainly intriguing. So for our listener, where do we begin to unpack this Nandi-based farmer politics? What's the very core concept that everything else springs from?
1. The core idea. Nandi-based farmer politics and its foundational philosophies. The central concept here is Nandi Adharita Raita Rajakiya, which directly translates to Nandi-based farmer politics. It's a political movement explicitly built around the bull, Nandi, and its absolutely pivotal, almost sacred role in agriculture and society. You might initially hear a political movement centered on a bull and, scratch your head a bit.
Yeah, understandably.
But the document makes a compelling case that it's far more profound and historically rooted than it might sound at first blush.
Indeed. The document positions the Nandi not merely as a farm animal, but as a symbolic and, literal cornerstone for a sustainable future.
Oh, cornerstone.
Exactly. It argues that recognizing the Nandi's central role, both historically and functionally, is paramount. Then that recognition must be integrated into public consciousness and, crucially, translated into policy.
Okay.
It's a powerful call to reorient our understanding of progress, urging us to center it around a living, breathing component of traditional, self-sustaining ecosystems. This isn't about, going back in time for nostalgia's sake. It's about rediscovering what they see as a foundational truth.
And this isn't just theoretical, is it? It comes with a very direct, actionable call to action, aptly named the Nandi Kugu, or the Call of the Nandi Campaign.
That's right.
This campaign explicitly outlines responsibilities for various segments of society, and it's surprisingly specific. For farmers, it's incredibly direct. They're instructed to bring political leaders right to their bulls.
Right to the polls.
And declare that their very lives depend on these living Basavannas. It's an almost spiritual declaration of dependence, isn't it?
It really is.
Their responsibility, as the document states, is to demand suitable laws and schemes to ensure these bulls remain in farmers' homes. Furthermore, the act of worshiping Nandi idols at home and in temples isn't just presented as a religious practice.
No, it's more than that.
It signifies that the family's and society's future rests squarely on Nandi progeny. Farmers are urged to vote only for leaders who provide absolute clarity on how they will increase Nandi wealth. That's a very specific, actionable, and, let's face it, politically charged directive.
It's a genius stroke of political messaging, isn't it?
Yeah.
It directly links an age-old cultural and religious symbol to immediate political action and economic survival. And it doesn't stop with farmers. For scientists, the document posits that Nandi agriculture is the root of Basava Tattva, which we'll get into in a moment.
Okay.
It boldly argues that civilization itself can only survive if Nandi agriculture survives. This places a heavy responsibility on scientists.
A huge one.
To inform the public about the urgent necessity for people to unite based on Nandi and vote for Nandi, ultimately leading to the necessary laws and schemes for its protection and, proliferation. This isn't just about scientific validation, it's about shifting public education and fundamentally altering the narrative around traditional practices, presenting them not as antiquated, but as essential for future survival.
Then we have the religious leaders. The document emphasizes the crucial need for them to value science in the modern world, which is interesting.
It is, yeah. Acknowledging the role scientists play in informing society. That's a surprisingly pragmatic stance for such a, traditionally rooted movement.
It is. Religious leaders are tasked with informing people that their future depends on Nandi progeny, and that they, the people, must pledge to vote nonpartisanly for Nandi.
Nonpartisanly.
For Nandi, exactly. And there's a stark, almost apocalyptic warning here that really stands out. If Nandi progeny is not protected now, no god, literally no god, will be able to save humanity in the future.
Wow.
That's an incredibly powerful motivator, framing the issue as an existential spiritual crisis.
It is, and it effectively transforms Nandi from, just an animal into a divine imperative for human survival. And finally, for political leaders, their responsibility is clear. They must seek votes by assuring farmers, scientists, and religious leaders that they will strive to implement laws and schemes that explicitly support the increase of Nandi progeny.
So everyone has a role.
Everyone. This raises an important question, doesn't it? How deeply ingrained is this concept in the culture that it can be presented as a basis for such broad societal reform involving farmers, scientists, religious leaders, and politicians?
Yeah.
It truly indicates a demand for a fundamental shift in values, moving away from fragmented, short-term approaches to a holistic, integrated vision that's deeply connected to the land and its ancient traditions. It's really a testament to the cultural resonance of the Nandi in many parts of India.
So it's clear then that this isn't just about the Nandi as a farm animal, but as a central symbol for a much larger philosophical vision. Can you tell us more about how deeply these ideas root into Bhavna Tattva and Kayaka Tattva? What's the true essence of those philosophies that this movement aims to revive?
It's absolutely central. Basava Tattva, or Basava's philosophy, is the very bedrock of this movement. Its essence mandates that the Panchamahabhutas, the five great elements, earth, water, fire, air, and space, must be purified and preserved.
Purified and preserved?
Yes, through Nandi Krishi, which is Nandi agriculture, specifically without causing any harm to nature. This isn't just about passive sustainability, it's about an active, symbiotic relationship where agriculture itself becomes a force for purifying and preserving the fundamental elements of life.
How so?
Well, think of it. In Nandi Krishi, the bull's natural waste enriches the soil, actively regenerating it, unlike chemical fertilizers that can, deplete its long-term health.
Right.
The use of bullock power means less reliance on fossil fuels, reducing air pollution. Careful water management, often integrated with traditional Nandi-based practices, ensures its purity and replenishment, rather than the widespread contamination we see with chemical runoff. It's about working with nature's rhythms to actively enhance the elements, rather than simply extracting from them.
And to give our listener a clearer picture, maybe, think about how traditional farming with Nandi could align with preserving these elements compared to modern industrial farming. With Nandi, you're talking about natural manure enriching the soil.
Exactly.
Reduced need for water-polluting chemicals and zero reliance on fossil fuels for tilling, which reduces air pollution. The bull's role is integral to a closed-loop system that inherently respects and purifies the Panchamahabhutas. It's a stark contrast to large-scale, chemical-intensive farming that often depletes soil, contaminates water, and relies heavily on fossil fuels, which are then burned, contributing to air degradation. It's about life-affirming cycles versus linear extraction.
Precisely. Then we have Kayaka Tattva, the work or labor philosophy. And it's important to grasp that Kayaka isn't just about manual labor. It's a spiritual concept that dignifies all honest work, viewing it as a path to self-purification and societal contribution. So when the document insists on preserving the Kayaka of the majority through Nandi agriculture, it's a powerful statement against systems that centralize production and displace human effort.
Right, like automation or large machinery taking over?
Exactly. It's about valuing broad-based, dignified human engagement in the economy, seeing it as essential for civilization's health, not just mere efficiency.
That makes perfect sense, because Nandi-based agriculture, by its very nature, is inherently labor-intensive, but in a way that sustains livelihoods for countless individuals and families. It creates employment across a spectrum of activities.
Many different roles.
From tending the animals to preparing natural manures, from tilling the fields to processing natural byproducts, this fosters a vibrant, decentralized rural economy.
Yeah.
Contrast that with highly mechanized modern methods, which, while efficient in some metrics, often centralize production in fewer hands and can drastically reduce the number of people needed for farming.
Leading to job losses.
Right, leading to widespread rural unemployment, migration to already crowded cities, and the breakdown of traditional community structures. If we connect this to the bigger picture, these philosophies promote a reciprocal relationship with nature and a community-based economic model, rather than one driven purely by extraction or mechanization. It's a complete paradigm shift from the ground up, literally. 2. The stakes, Basava Tattva versus Tail Tattva. Nandi versus oil. Okay, here's where it gets really interesting and, frankly, quite stark. The document draws a direct, almost existential contrast between what it calls Basava and Tail Tattva, or oil philosophy.
Nandi versus oil.
It's presented as a clash of civilizations, a fundamental choice for humanity, where the stakes are nothing less than the future of our planet and society.
It truly is. The document provides a comparative table that lays out these differences with striking clarity, framing them as two opposing paths for civilization. Let's break down the core philosophical differences they highlight. First, source of power. Under Vasavatattva, the source is Nandi, a living, renewable, and regenerative force. In stark contrast, Tail Tattva relies on oil, a non-renewable fossil fuel, dead and finite. The document isn't just talking about energy here, it's talking about the essence of power itself.
Living versus dead power.
Essentially, yes. Then, resource type. This follows naturally. Nandi represents a renewable resource. It regenerates through natural cycles. Oil is non-renewable, a finite resource whose depletion creates inevitable conflict and dependency.
We see that already?
We do. Third, form of energy. This is highly symbolic. Nandi is seen as a living entity, Sajiva Vastu, implying consciousness, vitality, a connection to the divine, perhaps. Oil is a non-living entity, Niriva Vastu, cold, inert, and ultimately without life. This sets up a profound spiritual and philosophical divide. Fourth, wealth accumulation. Here's where the societal implications become really clear. Under Basava Tattva, wealth accumulates with Nandi farmers and entrepreneurs, distributing it broadly across communities. With Tail Tattva, it concentrates in oil-rich locations and with specific individuals or corporations, leading to centralized control and vast disparities.
Decentralized versus centralized wealth.
Exactly, which leads to authority power. Nandi-based systems are inherently decentralized, empowering local communities and fostering self-governance. Oil-based systems are sexualized, requiring vast infrastructure and control, thus concentrating power in the hands of a few. Think about, global oil cartels versus a local farming cooperative.
Big difference.
Huge. Then, dependence. Basava Tattva fosters a self-reliant system, building local resilience and autonomy. Tail Tattva leads to a dependent system, reliant on external sources, volatile global markets, and geopolitical forces.
Like oil prices fluctuating wildly.
Precisely. Seventh, energy growth. This is where it gets highly symbolic, almost theological. Nandi's energy growth is described as divine power, Daivika Shakti, implying natural, harmonious abundance and spiritual well-being. Oil's energy growth is labeled demonic power, Asuri Shakti, suggesting destructive, exploitative, and unnatural expansion that corrupts society.
Divine versus demonic power. That's strong language.
It's incredibly strong language. It frames the choice in stark moral terms. Eighth, societal health. A society built on Basava Tattva is depicted as healthy, thriving, in balance. One built on Tail Tattva is diseased, plagued by imbalance and suffering.
Okay.
And finally, religion. Basava Tattva leads to the establishment of religion, implying harmony, spiritual flourishing, and ethical grounding. Tail Tattva, strikingly, leads to the destruction of religion, suggesting a breakdown of foundational values, moral order, and spiritual connection.
Wow. What stands out to you, the listener, about these differences? It's not just about energy, is it? It's about the very fabric of society, power structures, even spiritual well-being. The document is essentially saying, choose your civilization, and that choice determines your destiny. The profound insight here, I believe, is that it's not merely an economic or environmental debate. The document asserts that our energy choices fundamentally define our societal structure, our spiritual well-being, and even our relationship with life itself.
It's foundational.
It argues that by choosing a living energy source like Nandi, you build a reciprocal, decentralized society, fostering what they call divine power. Conversely, relying on a non-living extractive source like oil creates a dependent, centralized system leading to demonic power. It really redefines progress itself, urging us to question if our current path of industrialization is truly progress, or perhaps a form of self-destruction.
It's a powerful and almost existential framing. And to underscore the urgency of this choice, the document hits us with a truly stark figure that really stopped me in my tracks when I first read it.
What's that?
A claimed 80% destruction of Nandi wealth over the last 20 years is a direct indicator of an 80% destruction of Basava Tattva.
80%.
80%. This isn't merely a decline in livestock numbers, it's presented as a catastrophic, almost spiritual loss of a guiding philosophy that sustains life itself. So while the numbers themselves might be, debated in a purely academic sense,
Sure.
the implication it draws is its core argument that neglecting Nandi is equivalent to destroying the very fabric of healthy civilization.
That's a truly stark statistic. So let's unpack this scientific analysis of Basavatattva's survival on Nandi wealth. It lays out a comprehensive picture of what's at stake, categorizing the impacts on natural and societal elements. For instance, when we look at natural elements with Basavatattva, soil is saved.
Right, saved, regenerated.
Ensuring its long-term fertility and health through natural methods like manure. With Tail Tattva, soil is destroyed, leading to barrenness and a dependence on external inputs, as we've seen with monocultures. Water is saved with Nandi agriculture, implying careful usage, groundwater replenishment, avoidance of chemical runoff.
Oh.
With Tail Tattva, water is destroyed, likely through pollution, excessive extraction for industrial farming, contamination.
Makes sense.
Food is saved under Basavatattva, suggesting wholesome, nutritious, toxin-free produce from healthy soil. With Tail Tattva, food is destroyed, implying contaminated or unhealthy food laden with chemicals.
You are what you eat, essentially.
Exactly. Crop diversity is saved with Nandi-based methods, supporting varied ecosystems and resilience. It's destroyed with Tail Tattva, leading to vulnerable, high-yield monocultures that require more external inputs.
Right, less resilient.
Biodiversity is saved as a direct result of Nandi agriculture, fostering thriving ecosystems. It's destroyed by Tail Tattva, often through habitat destruction and pesticide use, and crucially, native cows are saved under Basavatattva, preserving indigenous breeds crucial for local ecology and resilience. They are destroyed by Tail Tattva practices, which prioritize commercial, high-producing breeds, often raised in confinement.
This implies a fundamental belief, doesn't it? That the health of these core aspects of life and society is directly tied to the presence and flourishing of Nandi agriculture. It's a systemic view, where the decline of one element, particularly the Nandi, cascades into the degradation of all others.
And it extends beyond natural elements to societal elements. Under Basavatattva, family is saved.
How so?
Well, suggesting strong communal bonds, interconnected rural life, sustained livelihoods that keep families together on the land. With Tail Tattva, families destroyed, often through rural migration, economic hardship, societal fragmentation as people leave their ancestral homes.
Ah, I see. The social fabric.
Exactly. Culture is saved with Nandi-based approaches, preserving traditional knowledge, practices, community rituals tied to the land. It's destroyed by Tail Tattva as modern industrial practices erode traditional ways of life and replace them with a more homogeneous, consumerist culture.
Loss of heritage.
Employment is saved under Basavatattva, as we discussed, providing widespread, dignified livelihoods in a vibrant rural economy. It's destroyed by Tail Tattva due to mechanization, leading to joblessness and concentrated wealth. The Constitution is saved with Basavatattva.
That's a big claim.
It is, implying that its principles of justice, equality, dignity are upheld through a decentralized, equitable system. It's destroyed by Tail Tattva, suggesting a breakdown of democratic values, social equity, or the rule of law due to centralized power and economic disparity.
Okay.
And finally, religion is saved under Basavatattva as it fosters spiritual foundations, community cohesion, reverence for life. It's destroyed by Tail Tattva as societal breakdown and a focus on materialism impact spiritual adherence and traditional values.
The ultimate outcome, according to the document, is this. Basavatattva leads to green India, green world, a vibrant vision of ecological and social prosperity, a garden planet, if you will.
Yeah.
While Tail Tattva leads to barren India, barren world, a desolate, depleted, and dying future. To emphasize the historical depth of this claim, the document cites that the presence of Nandi idols in front of Shiva lingas in many Shiva temples across the world.
Across the world.
Yes, across the world, is presented as direct proof that the root of all religions established on Earth is indeed Nandi-based Basavatattva. This connects current challenges not just to modern agricultural choices, but to an ancient spiritual lineage, implying a universal truth. 3. The crisis and its manifestations.
So if the document paints this picture of Nandi-based Basavatattva as the foundation for a healthy civilization, then let's dig into the main reasons it identifies for the alarming decline of Jyotiyatina Krishi that's farming with a pair of bullocks and its negative impact on Basavatattva. It's a profound critique of modern agricultural and political priorities, isn't it?
It absolutely is. The document lays out several core reasons for this decline, and they're quite revealing about where the system, from its own perspective, has gone wrong. Firstly, there's a glaring issue of economic insecurity.
Ah, the money.
Right. Unlike government or private employees who typically enjoy financial security, benefits, protective laws, or schemes, Jodi Atina farmers, those relying on bullocks, lack any comparable economic safety net.
Nothing similar.
Apparently not. This makes their profession precarious, financially vulnerable, and deeply unattractive, especially to younger generations. They operate without a safety net that much of the modern workforce takes for granted.
So it's not just a natural evolution away from bullocks, but an active policy push towards alternatives that undermine traditional farming, almost making it an unviable choice.
Precisely. The second reason points to the aggressive promotion of mechanization specifically, the widespread adoption of tractors, and the heavy reliance on chemical inputs.
Tractors and chemicals.
This has actively neglected, even you could say ostracized, the immense contributions of bullock farmers to Basava Tatva. The focus has entirely shifted to industrial inputs, driven by market forces and government subsidies, rather than traditional sustainable organic practices.
So no real incentive to stick with Nandi farming.
Very little, it seems. There's no incentive to continue when the entire system is pushing you towards chemical dependency and large machinery.
And it seems like their hard work is consistently undervalued.
That's the third point. Farmer labor is ignored. Popular government schemes often distribute money equally, say a flat sum per farmer, without any consideration for the incredibly hard work, the specific ecological benefits, and the unique contributions of Jodi Atina farmers.
One-size-fits-all approach.
Pretty much. This devalues their labor, fails to differentiate their sustainable practices, and doesn't incentivize their methods, making it frankly illogical for them to continue. Why put in immense effort with bullocks when a more mechanized, less demanding approach gets the same financial support?
So there's a lack of targeted support for those who practice Nandi agriculture.
Exactly. Fourth, there's a significant neglect in education and research. Nandi agriculture, which the document describes as a natural technology.
A natural technology. Interesting phrase.
Isn't it? It's simply not given importance in educational curricula or agricultural research institutions. This means traditional knowledge, passed down through generations, is being lost because it's not codified, validated, or taught in formal settings.
So the knowledge pipeline is broken.
Essentially, yes. Future generations aren't being trained in these sustainable methods, leading to a critical knowledge gap. And finally, a crucial and perhaps most frustrating point for them, the politicization of farmers' issues. Farmers' genuine problems like economic hardship or ecological degradation are often turned into religious issues, leading to debates that distract from and ultimately lead to the neglect of Nandi and cow wealth.
So it gets sidetracked into culture wars.
That's the argument. This misdirection hinders practical, systemic solutions in favor of symbolic, often divisive rhetoric. It's presented as a classic misdirection play in politics.
It sounds like the document is calling for a really clear-eyed focus on the material conditions of farmers, despite all the political noise. And the implications extend far beyond just the farm, touching on global conflicts and environmental disasters. The document asserts that as the use of Tail Tattva, the oil philosophy, increases over Basava Tattva, society gets poisoned in two distinct ways.
That's right. The first is chemical poisoning. A slow, insidious poisoning from chemical agriculture, which impacts human health through contaminated food and water and degrades the environment over time, reducing biodiversity and soil fertility. It's a silent, creeping health crisis.
Slow poisoning. And the second?
The second is rapid poisoning. This manifests as wars driven by machine-based agriculture. The document argues that our global reliance on oil, driven by industrial agriculture, fuels conflicts over scarce resources.
Oil wars.
Exactly, leading to rapid, violent societal breakdown. So the very act of large-scale mechanized farming, in this view, contributes to geopolitical instability.
Wow.
The document also points to an additional impact. Natural calamities, which are seen as a direct consequence of this shift away from natural, Nandi-based practices and the resulting ecological imbalance. It paints a vivid picture of systemic breakdown, where the crisis is not just agricultural, but global and existential.
And if Nandi wealth and Basava Tattva continue to decline, the document paints a stark, almost apocalyptic picture of future challenges across various sectors, outlining a domino effect of collapse that impacts every facet of society.
It's a very clear so what, and it outlines a cascade of negative consequences if the core principle of Nandi-based agriculture is ignored. In agriculture, the document predicts farmers' land fertility will be destroyed due to the fundamental lack of Nandi wealth.
Meaning the soil just gives out.
Essentially, yes. It cannot naturally regenerate without that Nandi input, according to this view. This leads to increasing farmer debt as they become dependent on expensive external inputs and ultimately helpless situations where farming becomes unsustainable.
And the ripple effects.
For agriculture-dependent industries like sugar mills, dal mills, rice mills, they will inevitably face bankruptcy due to decreased soil productivity resulting from Nandi wealth loss. This signifies a collapse of the entire agroeconomic chain, as the raw materials simply won't be available in sufficient quantity or quality.
So the impact ripples through the entire economy, not just the rural sector.
Exactly. Even government employees will struggle, as the document predicts they will receive less than half their current salaries in a few years.
Less than half.
That's the prediction, indicating a broader economic downturn and a collapsing tax base. In education, it warns that it will lose all value as employment-generating sectors go bankrupt, leading to a surge in educated unemployment.
So degrees become worthless.
That's the grim forecast. This, in turn, fuels societal deviance and frustration, as people with qualifications have no outlets for productive work. For health, an environment will be created where diseases cannot be controlled, potentially leading to the complete loss of value for the medical profession.
That's terrifying. A world where even the medical profession is rendered useless.
It truly is, and that's precisely the stark warning the document wants to impress upon us. That a fundamental breakdown in our ecological and agricultural base will have cascading effects that touch every pillar of society, even those we consider inviolable, like public health.
And it continues.
It continues into politics. Political leaders will struggle to govern as it becomes difficult to pay government employees, leading to a situation where leaders' orders are not followed and basic governance breaks down. This is a forecast of complete societal anarchy.
Okay.
And finally, religion. Various religions whose foundation is Nandi agriculture, according to the document, will find it impossible to survive if they do not come forward to protect this foundation. This is a powerful assertion that religious institutions themselves depend on this fundamental agricultural and philosophical base for their continued relevance and existence. 4. The path forward. A call to action and vision for change.
Despite these grim predictions, the document also outlines a clear, perhaps surprisingly optimistic path to uplift Nandi Adharita Nayakatva Nandi-based leadership. What are the key drivers for this shift that the document identifies, the factors that could push society towards this new path?
It highlights several realistic factors that are already at play or are rapidly emerging, creating a fertile ground for this new type of leadership to emerge and gain traction. First, and quite tangibly, there's the pervasive and constantly increasing farmer debt.
The debt crisis.
Exactly. This isn't just an economic issue. It's a social crisis that demands new, radical solutions, and Nandi-based agriculture is presented as the ultimate antidote. Second, the emergence of incurable physical and mental problems is forcing a painful reevaluation of our lifestyle and consumption patterns.
Which could be linked back to chemical farming.
That's the connection being drawn, yes. Linked to chemical-intensive agricultural practices and the stresses of modern life. People are seeking fundamental solutions for their well-being. Third, the very real potential for oil scarcity due to wars, which could easily double existing economic and social problems, emphasizes the profound fragility and unsustainability of our current energy dependence. It's a very practical incentive to find alternatives.
So external pressures like conflict are seen as catalysts, pushing us towards an inevitable change.
Exactly. Fourth, the document observes that political leaders are getting trapped as they cannot provide freebies or guarantee schemes anymore, or at least not indefinitely.
The well runs dry.
Right. The financial unsustainability of such populist measures, coupled with the escalating crises, means this inability to deliver on promises could force them to seek more fundamental, sustainable solutions, which Nandi-based politics could offer as a long-term strategy.
An opening for new ideas.
Precisely. Fifth, social media's increasing potential to rapidly convey the causes of problems to the public is seen as a powerful tool for raising awareness and mobilizing widespread support for Nandi-based solutions, circumventing traditional media gatekeepers.
Bypassing the old channels.
And finally, and quite intriguingly, artificial intelligence, AI's potential to synthesize all scientific discoveries and make truth known to the masses in a simple form.
AI is an ally.
Apparently so. This suggests that AI could actually help validate, disseminate, and simplify the complex scientific underpinnings of traditional Nandi agriculture, making its ecological, health, and economic benefits undeniably clear to a wider audience, bypassing skepticism. This highlights how current crises, combined with technological shifts, create a unique opportunity for this new type of leadership to gain traction, almost as if, destiny is aligning to force this change.
The document also proposes a direct, almost prophetic formula for political leaders to change their mindset, stating that only politicians who value Basava Tattva and Kayaka Tattva will survive as leaders.
That's a truly bold and perhaps even a little chilling claim.
It truly is. The implications of this statement are profound. It's a call for a fundamental reevaluation of political priorities, moving away from short-term gains, electoral cycles, and superficial solutions towards a sustainable, principled approach rooted in these ancient philosophies.
So it's adapt or perish, politically speaking.
That's the message. It implies that leaders who continue to operate within the Tail Tattva framework, driven by extractivism and centralization, are on a path to obsolescence and political self-destruction, while those who embrace the Nandi-based philosophy are the only ones with a viable future in a world facing these mounting crises. It's presented as a political survival guide wrapped in philosophy. So it's not just a philosophical argument, but a pragmatic political survival strategy. Let's look at how specific political parties are encouraged to align with this Nandi-based vision.
Yeah.
The document doesn't shy away from naming names, does it?
No, it offers very specific, almost strategic recommendations, appealing directly to the historical identities and existing platforms of major parties. For the Congress Party, it reminds them that their original symbol was a pair of bullocks, Jodi etu.
The two bullocks symbol.
Exactly. It urges them to highlight that they are a party that values Basava Tattva and respects native culture, appealing to their historical roots as a party connected to the common farmer. This is a clear appeal to re-embrace a symbol and a philosophy that were once central to their identity.
A callback to their history.
Yes. For the BJP party, it reminds them that their former symbol was a farmer carrying a plow with bullocks, Jodi Atina Negilu Hotana Raita.
Another farming symbol.
Right, signifying them as a party upholding national culture and always working to promote cow progeny. It also notes their current promotion of Gaivya, cow-based products, and efforts in states like Uttar Pradesh to increase cow progeny. This positions the Nandi agenda as aligning with their historical and current cultural nationalist stance, suggesting a natural fit for this philosophy within their existing framework.
So appealing to both major parties based on their own histories and platforms. And there are also general or shared strategies for all political parties to consolidate votes based on this Nandi vision, which seems designed to apply pressure across the political spectrum.
Yes, these are critical points for any party seeking to align with the movement. The document emphasizes a stark reality. Nandi wealth is being destroyed and sent to slaughterhouses because 80% of India's oil is imported, leading to the massive underutilization of Nandi power.
Connecting oil imports directly to Nandi decline.
Directly. It frames this as an economic and environmental absurdity. It then highlights the vast sums allocated by the central government, 1.76 lakh crore for chemicals and fertilizers, and 1.26 lakh crore for agriculture, and makes the powerful argument that despite these expenditures, the future of political parties depends on Nandi progeny.
Redirect the money.
That's essentially the call. A radical redirection of these immense funds away from chemical dependence and towards Nandi-based solutions. It strongly advocates for discouraging cow dung export and instead aggressively incentivizing the production of cow dung-based products.
Creating value locally.
Exactly. Fostering a vibrant local circular economy around this valuable resource.
So it's about redirecting resources and policy to support indigenous sustainable practices that also create local value.
Absolutely. It calls for the central government's natural farming schemes to explicitly recognize and promote Jodi Atina farmers as natural farmers, giving them due credit, targeted support, and incentivizing their methods.
Recognizing them formally.
Yes. It then critiques existing laws, stating that cow protection laws, while well-intentioned, do not actually save Nandi and Gao wealth in farmers' homes.
That's a crucial distinction.
It is. The law might protect cows in general, but it doesn't create the economic conditions for farmers to keep and utilize Nandi, implying the laws are insufficient or misdirected. Furthermore, it argues that promoting cows alone is not the solution.
Promoting cows isn't enough.
No. Promoting Jodiatina farmers is the solution because it integrates the animals into a functional agricultural system where they are economically viable. And it directly states that gaushalas, or cow shelters, cannot increase Nandi or Gao progeny effectively.
So shelters aren't the answer either.
Not the primary answer, according to this. Again, emphasizing that the solution lies in active farm-based preservation through use, not just protection in a shelter.
And there are specific, almost heartbreaking examples that back this up.
Yes, the document provides evidence that recent guarantee schemes designed to provide freebies or direct financial aid actually lead to the unintended destruction of Nandi wealth.
How so?
It cites a stark example from Vijayapura's Sri Siddheshwara Jatre, a fair where cattle are traditionally traded. Last year, a thriving 75,000 cattle arrived. This year, only 4,000 did.
75,000 down to 4,000.
A massive drop. The document explicitly attributes this shocking reduction to these guarantee schemes, implying they disincentivize farmers from keeping Nandi, as they might no longer see the direct economic need or benefit.
An unintended consequence.
Exactly. It then asks a pointed, almost rhetorical question. Why don't Jodiatina farmers, who work 365 days a year, receive a monthly incentive of Rs 11,000, unlike unemployed graduates who sometimes do? This highlights a perceived injustice and economic disparity.
Good question.
Finally, it points out that women in Jodiatina farmer families have no free time to benefit from Shakti Yojana power schemes, which might offer leisure or financial benefits due to their demanding agricultural work. Therefore, they need additional direct incentives that acknowledge their unique labor and contributions.
Recognizing the women's role, too.
Absolutely. This is not just a policy list, it's a comprehensive political strategy, framing the Nandi-based approach as essential for electoral success and societal stability by addressing diverse grievances, from economic injustice to cultural erosion. 5. Deepening the roots. Historical, spiritual, and practical dimensions.
Beyond agriculture and politics, the document connects Nandi to the very fabric of Indian history and spirituality, giving this movement a truly deep, enduring significance and cultural resonance that transcends simple policy.
It does, weaving Nandi into a grand millennia-spanning narrative. For instance, it points to the iconic Nandi seal from the Indus Valley civilization.
The Indus Valley seal.
Yes, which is even integrated into the Indian constitution. This isn't just a historical footnote. It suggests Nandi isn't just an animal, but a fundamental symbol of ancient Indian identity, constitutional principles, and perhaps even a testament to the enduring wisdom embedded in those early civilizations.
A foundational symbol.
It seems so. The document also implies a powerful connection to the Rajadanda, or Sengal, that ceremonial scepter that gained significant public attention recently.
The Sengal, right?
When it was reintroduced into India's parliament, symbolizing righteous governance and the transfer of power. By linking Nandi to the Sengal, the document isn't just making a historical nod, it's asserting that ethical, Nandi-based leadership is fundamental to true dharma and good governance, aligning it with a profound symbol of statecraft.
Connecting Nandi to good governance itself.
Furthermore, it delves into animal genetic resources and the Krishna River Basin, specifically mentioning crucial indigenous bull breeds like Kalari, Krishnavali, Ongole, Namari Melanad, and Gita.
Specific local breeds.
Highlighting their importance not just as animals, but as integral components of local ecosystems, agricultural heritage, and biodiversity. These aren't just names. They represent the genetic wealth adapted over centuries to specific local conditions.
It's a powerful statement, suggesting Nandi is a foundational thread running through millennia of civilization, from ancient symbols to modern constitutional law and ecological preservation. It ties into a very deep sense of identity.
Absolutely. The document also connects this movement to revered figures like Sri Shivayogi Satarmeshwara, noting his association with the Krishna River Basin and the Navadevata, or 9 deities concept, which is deeply associated with farmers and Nandi.
9 deities.
Yes. The source, intriguingly, provides a visual representation of these 9 deities, with Shailaputri specifically linked to षयಗಳ, and includes numerical symbolism 0 for Shunya, 1 for starting, 8 for infinity. This shows how Nandi is not just a practical agricultural tool, but a spiritual anchor, integrated into a divine pantheon that guides farmers' lives and connects them to a cosmic order. It's a very integrated worldview.
This really brings the philosophy down to earth, showing how Nandi can literally touch every aspect of daily life, from personal hygiene to home maintenance. The philosophy of Nandi isn't abstract. It manifests in tangible products and a circular economy.
Indeed, it promotes a sustainable economy where the Nandi's byproducts are valued and utilized, minimizing waste and fostering self-reliance. The document lists products for the body, deha, demonstrating a connection to personal well-being and health from within the Nandi ecosystem.
Like what specifically?
Traditional items like shampoo and hair oil made from Nandigao-based ingredients, vibhuti, sacred ash, for spiritual and medicinal use, eye medicine, ghee for nasal application, tooth powder, various Nandigao-based food products, ghee for the waist and hips, pain relievers, and even slippers.
Slippers.
Apparently so. This shows a complete integration into daily self-care, where health is derived from natural Nandi-sourced elements. Then there are products for the home, mani, indicating Nandi's role in maintaining a healthy living environment.
What kind of home products?
These include abhisheka, ritual anointing liquid, goop, incense sticks, phenol, a natural disinfectant traditionally made from cow urine, and materials for homa and havan, fire rituals, often using cow dung cakes. But perhaps the most intriguing one for modern listeners is cow dung plastering for homes.
Cow dung plaster.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. And this isn't just traditional. It's presented as a sophisticated ancient technology. It's a natural insulator.
Insulator.
Yes, keeping homes cool in scorching summers and warm in chilly winters, significantly reducing energy needs. It's breathable, which dramatically improves indoor air quality by preventing moisture buildup and mold, unlike many modern synthetic paints.
Healthier homes.
And of course, it's completely biodegradable, locally sourced, and provides a continuous, valuable use for a Nandi byproduct, embodying a truly circular economy. So it's not just a quaint practice. It's a profound demonstration of sustainable living, connecting directly back to the Basava Tattva of preserving elements without harm.
And the movement connects itself to revered symbolic figures to underscore its profound spiritual and historical weight, making it resonate beyond just policy.
It connects to powerful Virashaiva figures like Virabhadra and Kami Malaya. The document states that a Nandi temple combined with a Virabhadra temple is a scientific tradition signifying village unity, and that the village's future depends on Nandi wealth.
A scientific tradition.
That's the term used. It's described as the greatest scientific tradition sustained by people's devotion globally. This intertwines faith, community, and scientific insight into a single cohesive tradition.
Interesting framing.
Then there's Vishwaguru Basavana, the world teacher, presented as the representative of world farmers. The vibhuti, or sacred ash, on Basavana's forehead is interpreted to signify that if one wants peace, saving Nandi progeny is essential.
Peace through Nandi.
That's the direct symbolic message linking inner peace to outer ecological action. And finally, Sri Kuka Subramanya. The document highlights the scientific truth behind him being able to destroy demons only after learning Nandi Vidya, or Nandi knowledge.
Nandi knowledge gives power over demons.
That's the fascinating implication, that even divine power is amplified or enabled by understanding and mastering Nandi-based wisdom and practices. The document also mentions the concept of Farmer Shiv Lingas and the Sarvadharma Stampa, pillar of all religions, signifying Basava Tattva as the root of all religions, and Dhyanalinga as the representative of all farmers globally. These powerful symbolic connections emphasize that Nandi-based thinking is not just an agricultural or political choice, but a spiritual imperative for human flourishing, a pathway to global harmony. 6. The campaign and future vision.
The document doesn't just present a philosophy. It outlines a clear, time-bound campaign with significant spiritual and political milestones designed to kickstart this Nandi-based transformation. It's a very practical blueprint for action, almost like a precise roadmap.
It is, and it's structured around 3 special days, 3 significant locations, and 3 powerful resolutions, all culminating within a tight 90-day period. The first is Gari Huname on November 15th, 2024.
Okay, coming up relatively soon then.
Yes. The location for this event is a Padayatra, or foot march, starting from Puja Sri Siddheshwara Swamiji's ancestral home in Vijayaragi and proceeding to Jnana Yogashrama in Vijayapura. This walk itself is symbolic, connecting revered spiritual lineage with the physical journey towards change.
A pilgrimage for change.
You could say that. The resolution for this day is a powerful, quantitative pledge to increase Nandi wealth tenfold in the next 10 years.
Tenfold in 10 years. That's ambitious.
Very ambitious. It sets a measurable goal for the movement, putting a stake in the ground for tangible growth.
So it's not just a symbolic march, but a commitment to concrete, measurable growth, attaching a numerical target to a philosophical ideal.
Exactly. The second key day is Vaikunta Ekadashi on January 10th, 2025. This event will take place at Sanyasapamath Bijaragi Rameshwara, which is noted as the very place that inspired Sri Siddheshwar Somaji's spiritual journey, again grounding the movement in profound spiritual heritage.
Connecting back to inspiration.
Yes. On this day, agricultural graduates will perform Pada Puja, or worshipping feet, for Jodiatina farmers.
Worshipping the farmer's feet.
Yes. This is a profound, almost revolutionary act of respect and recognition, symbolizing modern scientific knowledge humbling itself before traditional agricultural wisdom.
That's a powerful image.
It is. The resolution on this day is the official launch of the Nandi Kugu Abhiyana, Nandi's Call campaign, with a pledge to implement a law reserving 10% of the budget for Nandi farmers and provide a monthly incentive of Rs 11,000 to Jodiatina farmers for the next 10 years.
Specific policy goals. 10% of the budget and 11,000 rupees a month.
Highly specific, policy-driven resolution directly addressing economic insecurity and advocating for significant financial commitment.
These aren't just dates. They're strategic rallying points, tying spiritual significance to concrete political and economic goals. It's a masterclass in movement building, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the final milestone.
The third pivotal day is Basava Jayanti on April 30, 2025. The chosen location is Sukshetra Srisaila Sri Malaya Sannidhana, a place of immense spiritual importance.
Another sacred site.
Yes. The resolution here is perhaps the most ambitious and conditionally binding, putting the onus squarely on the public. A pledge to return to Sri Malaya Sannidhana only if a situation arises where more than half the state's population votes for leaders striving for Nandi agriculture revival.
Only return if more than half the population votes accordingly.
That's the pledge. It sets an incredibly high bar for success, indicating the movement's long-term and deep-seated commitment. It's a powerful challenge to the electorate, a declaration that their spiritual return is contingent upon political and agricultural change.
The document also suggests practical policy frameworks to support this agricultural shift, outlining components of a soil restoration law. Yeah, it's not just big ideas, but tangible policy.
Yes. It outlines 3 key legislative aspects for soil restoration, which are crucial for turning philosophy into practice. First, it focuses on encouraging farmers to increase organic matter in soil.
Back to soil health.
Right, recognizing this as fundamental to long-term soil health, fertility, and resilience. This implies promoting practices like composting, natural manuring, cover cropping, which are inherent to Nandi agriculture. Second, it calls for making carbon credits accessible to farmers.
Carbon credits for farmers.
Yes, which would effectively incentivize sustainable practices by providing an economic benefit for carbon sequestration in the soil. Imagine farmers getting paid for improving the planet's atmosphere.
That would be a game changer.
It would. And third, it advocates for creating priority markets for produce from high organic matter scale. This would reward farmers who adopt Nandi-based methods with better market access, higher prices, and consumer preference, reinforcing the economic viability of these sustainable practices. It creates a market-driven incentive for ecological responsibility.
This entire movement culminates in an ambitious, all-encompassing vision. Nandi Gram Swarajya Yojana, a new technology-based Nandi village self-rule scheme. What does this multi-dimensional development entail? It sounds like a blueprint for a whole new society.
Nandi Gram Swarajya represents a truly comprehensive, decentralized approach to development, where the Nandi is not just an animal, but a guiding principle for societal organization, almost like a decentralized operating system for villages.
An operating system based on Nandi.
Metaphorically, yes. It links Nandi-based visionary leadership development with practical and political outcomes across multiple spheres. For political development, through the Our Village, Our Nandi Wealth program, the goal is to consolidate public votes around Nandi.
Uniting votes across party lines.
That seems to be the aim. This involves organizing programs for political leaders, religious leaders, and scientists to pledge nonpartisan votes for Nandi, essentially making Nandi a unifying, non-divisive electoral issue that cuts across traditional party lines. For business development, through the Our Business, Our Nandi Wealth program, the aim is to find innovative ways for Nandi-based business development.
Creating new businesses.
Yes, this includes organizing programs for entrepreneurs, religious leaders, and scientists to pledge the use of Nandi and Gao-based products, creating a robust, self-sustaining, circular economy where every byproduct is valued and utilized.
And beyond these specific political and business programs, the Nandi Gram Swarajya Yojana has broader, holistic development aspects that touch every part of life.
Yes, it envisions holistic development across multiple spheres, recognizing their interconnectedness. Religious development, ensuring spiritual practices are aligned with and supported by Nandi-based living, fostering reverence for nature. Economic development, fostering true self-reliance and local prosperity, moving away from extractive models. Nature development, emphasizing active ecological restoration and preservation of the Pancha Mahaputas.
The 5 elements again.
Always central.
Yep.
Business development, as we discussed, creating thriving industries around Nandi-based products and services. Educational development, integrating Nandi agriculture as a natural, scientific technology into learning, passing on practical and philosophical wisdom. Social development, strengthening community bonds, traditional structures, mutual support systems, and of course, political development, empowering local, Nandi-aligned leadership that serves the community and the environment.
It's truly comprehensive.
This concept of Nandi Gram Swaraja really represents a comprehensive, decentralized approach to development, where the Nandi is the central principle guiding societal organization, an ideal for local self-governance.
And what's the grand finale, the ultimate result of this Nandi-based visionary leadership? Where does all of this lead?
The document concludes with a powerful, almost prophetic aspiration, Vishwa Guru Parada, which means World Guru India.
World Guru India.
It's described as Devabhumi, a divine land, leading to Swavalambi Farada, a self-reliant India, which is ultimately composed of Swavalambi Gramagalu, or self-reliant villages.
So self-reliant villages build a self-reliant nation, which leads the world.
That's the ultimate vision. Connecting local agricultural practice, the simple act of a farmer tilling with a bull, to national self-reliance and eventually global leadership. It suggests that by embracing this ancient wisdom, India could offer a new path to the world, becoming a guide for sustainable, harmonious living.
So what does this all mean for you, listening in? We've unpacked this incredible document outlining a Nandi-based farmer politics movement, a vision that ties together ancient philosophies like Basava Tattva and Kayaka Tattva with, well, very modern challenges from economic instability and farmer debt to environmental degradation and even global conflict.
Indeed, it challenges us, I think, to consider a complete rethinking of our relationship with agriculture, with resources, and even with our political systems. It posits that a return to Nandi-centric practices isn't just about farming. It's about restoring health to society, economy, and spiritual life itself, offering a profound counter-narrative to our current industrial paradigm.
The depth of this vision, from the specific policy recommendations like the 11,000 rupee incentive to the ambitious campaign goals like the tenfold increase in Nandi wealth.
Yeah.
It's truly thought-provoking. It's a testament to how traditional wisdom can be adapted to address contemporary issues, offering a very different path forward than what we commonly hear discussed.
A path rooted in a very different set of values.
Exactly. So for your provocative thought to take away today, if the future of civilization truly rests on the survival of Nandi-based agriculture, as this document so strongly suggests, what other foundational elements of our society might be similarly undervalued and overlooked right now? And what kind of deep dive would it take to truly uncover them?
Nandi